Hire character, teach skill. This is why this is so important. It is incredibly important. Listen up. Every service business, it's a fact that you make money off of the difference between what your client pays you and what the cost is of your employee that's delivering that service, right? You make money on the gap between that. And on top of that, you also have other expenses like maybe rent and marketing and coaching and things like that to improve the business, right? So it eats into that profit, that slice that is yours, right? So knowing that the gap is where we make the money, there's only two ways to broaden this gap. And that is, one, you either increase your perceived value so people are willing to pay you a higher price, or you pay people less, and then you have a larger margin, right? So if we look at the first option of being perceived higher price, that has its limitations, right? Unless you're in a area where it's the ultra wealthy and you're creating a luxury brand, right, that you're able to do 10, 15 times the price of a regular service, and that's going to take time and a lot of work. You have to realize the reality is that, you know, someone's only going to pay so much. There's a mental perceived amount of money. If I go to buy a coffee, I have in my head, I'm not going to pay more than like $5, $7 at maximum for a coffee, right? So we come with a predetermined price in mind. So on the first option, we can raise the price to a certain degree. We want that price to be as high as possible, to be making the most margin so we can pay our people the most. But option two is we can lower how much we pay for our people that come in. Now, this tends to rub people the wrong way. And of course, it did for me too. I used to, at the beginning, look for people that are experts in their field and had a lot of experience. I'd want them on my team. And what happened was they come with a big ticket price that eats away at the margin. So they come in and they want a high price, which leaves my margin very low. Not only that, I was having trouble with them not listening to my direction, them wanting to do their own thing, the power balance of them thinking they're special, right? And it's hard to move the company forward when you have somebody like that. So instead, what you can do is you can hire for character and teach skill, right? When people would leave my company, I used to get really upset wondering, what did I do wrong? Or when they would leave and say, oh, you're not paying enough, you know, so they're going to go somewhere else. It's like I could never pay enough, right? Like I was already paying more than the industry standard, everyone around, and it still wasn't enough. So it wasn't until I realized that there's a natural churn rate. I let that sink in. There's a natural percentage, you know, in a service business, 5 to 7% of people leave on a regular basis. Doesn't matter how nice you treat them, what you pay them, there's just a natural churn rate. And when you can wrap your head around the fact that this is just always naturally happening, you don't have to cling to the people you have. You don't have to be like, oh, you know, like, I need them. Instead, focus on getting a flow of new resumes coming in, of new applicants, okay? And once you do that, instead of looking for who has the most experience, look at who has the right character traits for my company. That's what I'm looking for. And then from there, you can say, okay, what are the skills that they need to do the job here, the way we want it done, the way you want it done, right? So hire for character, teach them the skills, turn them into a pro, realize that there's a churn rate. And maybe your job is not to hold on to these people forever, but your job is that in transition, they're coming to you and it's your job to just load them up with skills and experience and knowledge so they can be the best person they can be. And focus on increasing your perceived value from the outside of what you do. And with that combination of getting someone more entry level that you're teaching to be even better than an experienced person and increasing the perceived value is how you're going to make more profit at the end of the day. I hope this was helpful. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.